We now come to this month's technology showcase, and the exciting company in the spotlight this month is AquiSense, an LED-powered UV disinfection technology. The CEO of AquiSense is Oliver Lawal. Oliver has a particularly interesting background, having worked with some big corporates, 10 years with Xylem, 6 years with Halma, before founding AquiSense 10 years ago. Just 2 years after founding the company, it was sold to the Japanese firm Nakiso. Nakiso, however, recently withdrew from the UV market, so Oliver, like a true entrepreneur, bought back the company via a management buyout. So I recently met with him to find out more about the technology and the claims which abound around LED UV.
Oliver, wonderful to be with you again. Thank you for taking the time to be on this broadcast.
Great to meet you again. Really enjoyed the last time. Thank you.
So the topic today is about LED-powered UV. It's something people have talked about for years, with this promise of it being low power and not having bulbs that fail. Is it real? Can you give me some data that substantiates that? And is it here?
Yes, it's real and it's here. Okay, so it's a progress. It's 10 years ago, founded this company, and we started making these little units. These go in kidney dialysis machines, in water dispensers, ice machines. We have 500,000 of these units in the field. So in Asia, in Europe, in North America. So there's a ton of these, a ton of them.
500,000 does feel like you've moved on from proof of concept, but that is very tiny. And in the water sector, that stuff isn't going to fly. What?
Yep. So then the next step then is these slightly larger units. These are going in larger dispensing machines, houses, RVs. So this is step number 2, and we have a few 100,000 of these. But then, of course, everyone's really interested in the big stuff, right? And this is a little scale model, but these are up to 10 million gallons a day. What's that? 1,500 meters cubed an hour in kind of metric sausages.
We've gone from dialysis machines to actually something that is utility scale. And let's be clear, I need some facts now. What is the energy saving? What is the bulb lifetime? The LED UV was always talked about as being the solution to that problem of needing a power station to power your UV lights and then having to change them every few months. What's the actual data?
So the reality is our lifetime on the lamp is about the same as a mercury vapor lamp. Our replacement interval is often longer because we can switch on and off. So we can dim. So often we see lamp replacement intervals about 2 times longer. It really depends on the process, though. The lamp lifetime, though, is technically about the same. It's about the replacement interval, though.
Okay, and the energy usage, the energy demand?
The energy usage of the lamp itself is really equivalent. The system, though, is much, much less. We're able to produce systems that are more efficient. The reactor's more efficient. Again, we can dim. We have a much bigger ability to cope with temperature swings and on-off cycles and so on. So the total energy savings it depends on the process. Okay, could be about the same, could be about half of the usage. It really depends on the process.
So would it be unfair to say this is a bit like variable speed drives on pumps? In the past, you had a pump and it was fixed here, and when you brought in VSDs, it might be at that same rate, but equally it adjusts to the flow. We've now got that ability to do that with UV.
I think that's a great analogy. That really is a great analogy. And honestly, like those, the capital cost could be a smidge more, right? So you have to be really careful on where you use these right now. In other cases, the capital cost is equivalent and less, right? Also, it's smaller. We're about half the size. So if you're concerned about
putting
it on the back end of the filter, right? We've got a filter gallery, ain't got much space, or that sort of thing. Capital cost for civil works much less with these type of units. So the more you zoom out, the more attractive it becomes.
Excellent. All right, now tell me about the technology briefly, without going into a 20-minute presentation. In 60 seconds, what is the technology?
Okay, if you're a bacteria flowing down a pipe and you get hit by a photon from a mercury vapor lamp, which there's $2 billion worth of those out in the field, you're not gonna enjoy it, right? It's a bad experience. You're gonna be inactivated. If you get hit by a photon from an LED, it's the same. So there's no difference in terms of the difference is how
the germicidal effect is driven by the same thing.
Yeah. So we're just generating those photons from an LED, so a solid state light source, instead of from a tube lamp like you had in your grandma's garage back in the day. So
now, what were you?
and
hang on, there's an important question that throws up as to what were you doing in my grandma's garage. But I think we'll save that for a later day. Now, one of the challenges that I know you've been genius at addressing is how you get engagement from clients, because you've got a great technology, very disruptive, lots of people interested in it, and there's only so many hours in the day and only so many people in your team. So how you can engage with them and make sure that you support customers in the best way to work out who are the ones that have got schemes that you want to take forward. And you've got a brilliant way of dealing with that. Talk us through it.
Yeah. Look. I know as well as anyone, spending £500,000 or £3 million on a new piece of kit, on a new piece of technology, new piece of equipment is a nerve-wracking experience. So we've developed a very compact device. It's try and keep it less than $5,000 US, and it's a device for saying, does this technology work? Right. So it's a solid-state light source. You can use a petri dish. You can put it, and you can inactivate whatever organisms you like. It's super easy to use. We've sold. I thought originally, this is my naivety, when I founded the company 10 years ago, I thought, the global market for this sort of bench scale device would be maybe 10. We sold now, I think, over 600 of these, and to research institutes, utilities, everywhere. Yeah.
So just to play that back, so I'm a utility. I'm intrigued at looking at whether LED UV is going to work on my particular sites with my particular waters for $5,000. I mean, that's. Obviously, it's not nothing, but it's a very small sum. $5,000. I can get a piece of kit that I will own, that I can then play around with and test it and put various flows in and turn it up, turn it down, see what it does, and I own all that data myself. And then if I want to proceed things, then I come back to you and I'm able to go on that journey of fleshing out.
And that same device can be used to confirm that the actual full-scale thing works as well. That's the beauty, right? So it's for sizing, but it's also for operational assurance as well along the way. It's a great piece of kit.
Brilliant. Oliver, I love that. I love that you've found such a great way of getting in, and it's the way that we should be doing things. Thank you very much for your time today. All the best. Hope to hear from you again soon.
Thank you.
Well, you heard it there, loud and clear. If you are one of the many, many utilities who are considering or actively exploring or even just toying with the idea of an LED UV, AquiSense have an easy way for you to get more familiar with the technology. If you want to know more, reach out to him on the email shown here or just drop me a line.